Hi everyone, my name is Dan Lowden and I am the CMO at White Ops. I really appreciate you spending some time with us today to talk about a very big problem in the industry. It's all focused around marketing fraud. And it is something that we're talking to marketing leaders, performance marketers in a big way because it is a much bigger problem than people know or think, and it is impacting every brand across the globe. So hopefully you can learn some good things that you can take some action upon that when you do, it actually drives significant ROI and better performance for all of your campaigns and for all of the activities that you to help drive new business to the company. So we're going to talk about minimizing fraudulent traffic that goes through your funnel. Let's dive in because it's a really important topic. And again, in the end, it's all about keeping the engagement that you have with real humans really, really positive so you can drive better business results. All right, so let's dive in. So first off, I want to ask you a question. If there was a cyber criminal or a fraudster out there that could look like a million humans to your organization, to visit your websites, to visit your form fills, to visit the campaigns that you put out there to drive people to your website to do business and the like. If there were a million humans that looked like they were real but were actually sophisticated bots, what could the bad actors do? And the answer is a lot of bad things, and that is exactly what's happening. So let's talk a little bit more, but it's a question I want you to ask yourself. If you see lots of traffic coming to your site, if you see huge increases in traffic based off of your campaigns, which is very exciting, but then you don't see the conversion rates that you hope to see, then most likely you are having a major bot problem where sophisticated bots are targeting you and trying to create fraud and steal your marketing dollars. Okay, so that's the power that these bad actors have. They can send a million sophisticated bots and more that, again, look like they're human, but they're not to your sites. And it's really impacting the user experience and impacting your company in many, many ways. So how does this all happen? Well, marketing fraud and these very sophisticated actors are impacting every part of the digital media process, the life cycle, it even goes into the tech stack. So how does this all work? We're going to talk more about it. But in the end, what it does is they're finding ways to get into all the tactics that you're using to drive people to your sites to fill out forms and the like. So through lead generation campaigns, display advertising, video advertising, organic traffic, native advertising, social media, SEO, SEM, keyword search, and any other things that you are doing to drive people to engage with them through your website. They are finding ways to get in because they follow the money. If you're out there spending lots and lots of dollars of campaigns and trying to incentivize people to come to your site, there are fraudsters who are getting into the mix because it's very complex, and they're able to filter out marketing dollars that you're spending, and you're wasting dollars trying to engage with what looks like real humans, but it's not. But the problem doesn't stop there. Once they're in your system, once they flow into your tech stack, like your marketing automation, the data management, CRM, personalization, retargeting, and the like, there is data that is filled in by sophisticated bots. That data many times is from real humans who never gave their personal information to you. The bots have stolen it from breaches that have happened across the years and things like that, and are using those credentials, that personal information, to fill out information on your sites, and that information is filtering into your tech stack so that it impacts the cleanliness of your data, and it impacts your company in lots of different ways, including potentially compliance and privacy and the like. So it's a big challenge, and they're hitting from all angles. And these are real things that we are seeing out there in the market where fraudulent actors are taking advantage of each one of these tactics and are getting into each part of the tech stack. And it's a big challenge, but there, again, some good news that we can share on how to go fix it. So the key thing here that I want to share on this slide is this is a big problem, and it's much bigger than people may think. You might think 1 to 2% of fraud, it's bad. That's bad enough, right? And you should take action to stop that. But in many cases, especially ups and downs with campaigns, we see traffic as high as 10, 20, 30, even 37% of the traffic flowing to a certain form fill and filling out forms we saw was actually sophisticated bots filling out those forms and being compensated for it. There was no real human behind it. It creates a lot of problems, and it's a much bigger problem than you think. And that's why the importance of taking action is critical. So what does it all result in? Well, it results in lost opportunity because your initial marketing spend is not going to real humans, and it's not driving real humans to your website. So you're not enabling yourself to create, the best possible mix of lifetime value with real customers, because sophisticated bots are getting into that mix and stealing those dollars. Then what happens is it leads to inaccurate data, right? Again, it flows into your CRM and DMP platforms. So, from a data cleansing perspective, a privacy, a compliance perspective, it creates inaccuracies, and that's a problem for marketers. It also leads to wasted effort, right? All these leads come in. If your sales team follows up with them or you're retargeting them, you're spending a lot of effort, time, and energy and money to follow up with those non-human contacts, right? So from that perspective, it wastes a lot of time. In the end, it drives lower conversion rates. You may see tremendous traffic flow coming in, but the conversion rates are very small because bots don't buy things. They only steal marketing dollars through this process, right? So lower conversion rates are the result of this. And that's not good for anybody, right? Our goals, especially in this business environment, is to drive as high of conversion rates as possible of the right customers. So that way, we can drive real business results. So this creates lots of problems when marketing fraud gets into the mix. So how do fraudsters make money? How do they do this? By stealing marketing dollars from budgets? Well, it starts from media buy fraud or competitive assaults, where they monetize fake clicks on paid ads and search results, and it drives fake traffic to websites. That's one way they get in. Another way they get in is through lead gen fraud or incentive fraud, where they're monetizing fake form fills, abuse of discounts, and referral programs. Anything that they're compensated for taking an action, they follow the money to do it. And then targeting deception. They will drive fake retargeting efforts on your side, where you think you're retargeting to a real customer. In fact, you're retargeting to a sophisticated bot, and you're losing significant dollars there. And then it's lost opportunity because, again, bots never convert to a real customer, and you're wasting all this time, effort, dollars to go make that happen. It's just going to drive lower conversion rates and impact your budget. And it even creates compliance risk, right? So if bad data is flowing into your systems, where these bad actors have purchased, private, personal information of customers, consumers out there, on the deep, dark, or open web, which is what they've been able to do because of all these breaches that have happened, they will fill in forms with real humans information. It's a bot doing it, but it's real human users information. That real human never gave you the okay to contact them. That real human never filled in this form. And to us, to marketers, we feel like, hey, this is a real prospect. Let's reach out to them. Let's retarget at them. Let's email them. Let's try to contact them. But in the end, that human never gave you that data. So it opens up compliance risk with GDPR and CCPA and the like. That's a big challenge that marketers have. So another important reason why to take action against this type of marketing fraud. So how does this happen, right? And that's where I want to share a little bit more detail from, where do these bots come from and what do they do and why is it so hard to stop them? Well, more and more sophisticated bots look human, right? We'll share a little bit more on the next slide of how this happens. But these bots visit websites, they fill out forms, they take over accounts, they scrape information from websites, they commit payment fraud, they actually listen to music, they click on likes, and fill out forms in so many different ways and shapes and forms. They're even impacting the top 10 songs of the day because bots are clicking on likes, influencing what people are listening to or watching. And from a video perspective, they have infiltrated every part of the online experience. And when that happens, they're actually impacting real customers who are trying to get through, to get information or to buy things that they might not be able to buy because bots are influencing the process. This is creating billions of dollars in losses for brands and consumers. And this is something we can address, we can stop, okay? So sophisticated bot attacks and fraud, again, are impacting every business. And what's changed? Why has this all of a sudden become a big thing? Well, more and more people are going on digital. More and more people are doing things, working from home because of all the things that are going on in the world. And there's opportunities from mobile devices to desktop devices to CTV devices where we're trying to promote goods and services. We're trying to do campaigns to drive traffic to our pages and the like. Bots are infiltrating all of those activities. It used to be simple bots could be pretty easy to find and to stop. They lived in data centers, they lacked cookies, they behaved like bots, and the bad actors weren't very sophisticated. They were mostly doing this as a side gig to earn extra beer money for the weekend. What has changed over the past year, 2 years, is that these bad actors have become more and more sophisticated cyber criminals. They have executive teams, they have HR departments, they have benefits, they have 2-week sprints, they have very well-funded organizations that all that group's focus is to commit fraud and steal money. That's what's happening. They're that focused. So they come after a brand. Brands aren't prepared for this level of sophistication. And to be able to recognize these type of sophisticated bots is getting harder and harder because through malware that now is sent, clicked on from an email or, clicked on in an ad, malware then gets on their device to a consumer device where a consumer might be doing one action on their device and in the background the bot is doing something else hidden so the consumer doesn't know it. Maybe their machine's a little bit slower. Maybe their battery dies faster. But the bot is doing malicious things in the background committing fraud. And that's a big problem because it lives on a device, it has user and device IDs, and it replays normal distribution that mimics human behavior. That's how sophisticated these bots have gotten, and it's tough. But there is ways to spot these sophisticated bots and stop them. And again, we'll get to that. So hang in there for the good news. Before we get to the good news is I want you to think about this question, right? Do you know how much of the traffic coming to your sites or your form fills and the like are actually human, or how much of that is actually sophisticated bots? You might think 1 or 2% is okay. It isn't, because it's impacting you across the whole stack and putting you at risk, especially, spending lots of time and energy and dollars and creating privacy and compliance issues. 1 or 2% is not acceptable anymore. But in many, many cases, we're seeing percentage of bot traffic to pages as high as 37% on specific campaigns where there is dollars to be made. And I'll share a customer use case where that happened. This is real. This is happening all the time. So ask yourself and your teams, do we know how much of the traffic coming to our sites is really human, are really prospects or customers, or how much of that is fake? and how much of that is committing fraud and we're wasting dollars on? That's a key question I want you to ask yourselves, because if you can understand that, then it gives you the power to stop it. Okay? So, real customer use case, right? Again, this is happening to brands all over. This is one example where we connected with a luxury automaker, and they were spending millions and millions of dollars on campaigns and driving lots of traffic to their site to fill out forms for test drives. And then when those forms arrived in front of the dealers and the salespeople to call on them, they kept reaching out to people and there was no response. Or if there was a response, they're like, I never signed up for a test drive. But payment had gone out for those form fills, where the fraudsters were able to filter those dollars out. That's how it works, and that's how it's impacting brands such as this. So 37% of the traffic filling out these forms were bot and sophisticated bots coming in that look like humans and act like humans. The good news story is, there is an opportunity to help them and to fix this problem and be able to enable them to recognize where this fraud is coming from and to be able to stop it. When that happened, that fraud level went from 37% to 0% of fraud. And then they were able to double down in the areas where they were seeing real human engagement, real success. And from that, their conversion rates went up 6x. So that marketing team went from being really challenged and disappointed by this level of fraud to fixing it and then driving significantly higher conversion rates. And then they became heroes of the company because they were driving significantly higher business results because they fixed the problem. And that's the goal here for every one of us. It makes you as an individual better at your job, it makes your team more successful, and it makes the company more successful when you fix this problem. And that, again, is the exciting part here. This was also another example where bots kept winning T-Mobile's promotional contests, right? They would put out promotions and bots would flood the contest, and it was all coming from one town where bots were winning the awards all the time. So this type of thing is real. It's happening. It's in the headlines. And anyone that's running programs or anyone who's running sweepstakes or, campaigns and the like, it becomes a target for these type of sophisticated bots. And they are smart and they're getting in and they're impacting everyone. And in the meantime, they're really impacting the true consumers who want to win, who can't, because bots are flooding these type of campaigns. And the bots are winning and the consumers are not. That creates a big customer problem for every brand when that happens. That's not a good thing, right? So to fix it is critically important. So if you fix it, or when you fix it, because we want everyone to understand the challenge here, we do believe every marketer should take a stand and say, we need to fix this. Even if it's a very small percentage, it's impacting you in a much more significant way than you think. And when you do, good things happen, right? So again, it's important to talk about keeping things human, optimizing conversations with humans, optimizing conversion rates with humans. That's what happens when you empower yourself to stop this kind of fraud. And it ensures maximum engagement with real humans, not bots. When you do that, you're going to have better business results. It helps with a much more efficient and effective spend, right? You waste a lot of money retargeting customers, sales activity. And if it's bots they're following up with or bots you're retargeting, you're wasting significant amount of money. We talked about this earlier, but I can't stress this enough. The cleanliness of your data as this information flows into your systems. You want to make sure it's real human engagement where sophisticated bots are not driving in fake information or real human information that was never really meant to be in your system. When that happens, it opens you up to compliance. It opens you up to privacy issues. It opens you up to your data is not clean. And when that happens, you're not efficient and effective in engaging with your audience. So when you fix it, Clean data enables you to be much more accessible, much more focused on being successful in engaging with your customers. And then it leads to better leads and better business outcomes, right? That's what we're here for. We're here to drive strong leads for sales. We're here to drive better business results. When we fix this problem, that's exactly what happens, and everybody benefits. So how does this all work? How does this come together? Well, through the ability to gain visibility into all the traffic that's flowing to your form fills, to your pages, the context that you're able to see exactly where fraudulent traffic is coming from, by campaign, by source, by trend, by page, by session, platform, environment, or even the operating system level of a device. We have seen the ability to line item by line item say good traffic's coming from these sources, bad traffic's coming from these other sources. Let's stop spending here to stop driving fraudulent traffic to your site. Let's spend where the real positive human traffic is coming from and double down there. And when that happens, that's how you fix the problem and drive significantly higher business results and conversion rates. So having this type of visibility is critically important for you to know where the good traffic's coming from and where the bad traffic's coming from, and be able to then take that information and make better business decisions, better marketing decisions, so you can engage with real customers. So why is this important to remove the fakery in the funnel, right? That's the key thing here. We talked about, even if it's 1 or 2%, it's a big problem because it impacts across the entire marketing, process, the whole funnel, and the whole opportunity to engage with real humans. If you fix this, you will optimize your marketing spend, you will optimize the ROI, and you will drive better business results for the company if you minimize the fraud that's going through the system. So when this happens, good things happen, right? You get cleaner data, right? You can now have trusted insight and learnings of what customers really want and really are buying and really what they're interested in. Because if bots are in that flow, it messes up that insight. And then it helps you to make better decision making going forward around, what marketing elements are really having impact and helping us drive business and which ones are not. So if you know which ones to go do and double down on them, you're going to be more successful. And then with all that cleaner data, you're not going to have compliance issues. You're not going to have privacy issues. You're going to fix that problem. Having greater site interactions focused on real customers, right? This type of bot activity, especially attacks when big campaigns happen, it impacts the real customer experience because they can't get access to what they want to get access to. They can't win. They can't buy things. They can't get access to things. And it messes with that whole customer experience, which we all try so hard to make sure is so good. It helps you gain full visibility into the sources of fraudulent traffic and data. Line item by line item, you're able to see what's good and what's bad. And when that happens, that empowers you to make sure you engage with good. When you optimize your marketing spend, there's better business results, right? Every marketer is being asked, especially in this day and time, we have to drive better business results. We have to increase lifetime value of lead generation. We want more customers to be happy, and we want to engage with them in the best way possible. So one of the things that we're going to make available to you, and I think it is available in the system here as you watch this webinar, is to download this PDF. It's called WTF is Marketing Fraud. And it goes into much more detail of what I shared with today. It also talks about many use cases where this is impacting, marketing fraud is impacting brands and what they've done to go fix it. And it's available also at the link on the left-hand side if you want to get access to the report or this presentation. You can click on it and find it. It's a really great resource, and it enables you to discover a whole lot more about marketing fraud, and hopefully it will give you more insight into why you should take action, because it's, again, incredibly important to do so for so many of the reasons that I've already outlined for you. So with that, I want to say thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity for me to share these stories with you. We're trying to share these stories to educate everyone about this problem, because this has been a hidden problem. These bad actors have been doing this and doing it in a way that has been hard to discover, hard to stop. The good news is today there is a way to discover and to stop it. And if you do that, you're really going to be much more successful in your role. You're going to be much more successful as a marketing group, and you're going to be much more successful in driving business to your company, which that's the goal of what we have to do as marketers today. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. If you want to learn more information about White Ops and what we do, visit us at www.whiteops.com. If anyone wants to reach out to me personally, this is my personal email at dan.lowden@whiteops.com. Happy to answer any questions that you may have. And again, hopefully this was helpful. The key thing that I would leave you with is ask the question: do we know how much bot traffic is coming to our site? Do we know all the traffic that's coming to our site? How much of it is human versus bot, especially as it ebbs and flows? And even if it's a small percentage, it's something you should take action upon, because it's important for us as marketers to do that. And when we do, we will be much more successful at our roles and our jobs. And that's what I'm trying to share, and hopefully that's helpful to you. So again, I thank you very much for this time. I really appreciate the opportunity to share these stories, and hopefully this was valuable to you. Thank you very much.